What is going on, guys? Greggles TV. I've got two phones here. I have the Microsoft Surface Duo, which goes for $1,400, $100 more if you get the 256, which end up being $1,500. And then you also have the LG Velvet, which retails for $599. This has the Snapdragon 765G. It's potentially more if you get the dual display, because this is literally two displays. This is two displays, but you can also take it out of this case and you have a singular phone screen on here, and then otherwise you can just plug it back in here and get your dual displays to go back on when you want it to. So kind of have a little bit of a difference between those two, but that's not really what I wanted to talk about, because they are two different phones for, I think, two different sets of people. But I really just wanted to show how both of these kind of do their multitasking differently on both phones. This one's going to be more gesture based, meaning you're going to not really tap buttons in order to do things. You're going to literally, swipe and do things like that, versus on this one, it's literally pressing buttons to get things done. So first of all, let's look at what two apps look like on both of these. So I'm going to open up Instagram and YouTube on this one. And on the Velvet, I'm going to do the same thing. I'll open up Instagram and YouTube. So there you go. I have both of these set up currently to look exactly the same, more or less. So you can see what they both look like. Obviously, you're going to get more of a squared off cutout. Seemingly, it's a little bit more comfortable in a traditional sense to use the Velvet, because maybe you're used to these, candy bar style phones. That's going to be more of what that is. Whereas this is almost like two iPad mini screens, kind of almost like 4:3 aspect ratio, something like that, to give you a little bit more of maybe a fatter look rather than a longer look at this. So you can do that obviously with buttons. That's the way you do shortcuts, to do those little app pairs. So if you want to set it so you can open up two apps at the same time on the Velvet, what you'll end up doing, there's a couple of ways, but I'll show you the long way. Go into settings, and then go into display. Next, go into dual screen. And then what you're going to do after that is you're going to work your way down until you see multi-app shortcut. And then in here, this is where you're going to create those. So you just hit the plus sign at the top. Choose the two apps that you want. And then hit the back button. And it'll automatically add it to your home screen, and you'll also see it here. And then when I tap it, it just automatically opens. On Microsoft, a little bit different. I actually probably prefer the way Microsoft does it, because I feel like it's a little bit more intuitive in terms of not having to go to the settings to do this. So what you would do is you can either do it from your home screens or your app screen. So what you would do is just press and hold on one of the apps that you want to put into this dual app thing. So I'm going to press and hold on this app. I'm going to hit select, and then I'm going to choose any other app that I want. I'll choose let's just do settings. When I'm done with that, you just hit groups at the top here, and then you give it a name, and then hit OK. And then it goes right there, and again, you just tap it to open it. So it's, fairly the same. I just feel it's a little bit more intuitive on the Surface Duo. Both of these can completely go like that and close. And this has an outside display, whereas the Surface Duo doesn't. And as you can see, so very similar designs in terms of the way they do their opening and closing of the actual displays. Another thing I want to say is, before I jump into this anymore, without a doubt, the Velvet is less buggy and quirky versus the Duo. The Duo just needs a software update. It's gotten one software update, but it still has some quirks going on. So to do more controlling of both these displays, if you press on the right here, you have this little button. If you press that, you can turn on and off the dual screen. So if I want to turn it off and just use one display, I can do that. And then to turn it on, it's the same thing. You can put the main screen to sleep, so it'll make this screen asleep and then keep this one on. If you open up certain apps, let's open up Twitter real quick. I can do some things here. I can show this on the main display, or I can swap screens so it pushes it over there. Or I can show dual screen on the main. So if I press that, it's going to push it back and put that one over there. Now, if I want to show apps, like one app across both displays, only the Google apps do that. So let me open up YouTube. And now that I have YouTube open, if I press this button again, I can do wide view right there. It says wide view. I'm going to press it, and it puts that app across both displays so that I can watch a video if I want. Or you can hold it this way and you get, you know, probably a better look for YouTube, since YouTube's usually widescreen. But you do get, you know, the ability to do that. It just only works with Google apps currently. Hopefully they fix that and allow for all apps. Unfortunately, right now it's only Google apps. Now with the Surface Duo, I did told you it's more gesture based. So when you want to open up when you have two apps open, I should say, so let me open up two apps real quick. Open up the Play Store, and then I'll open up the Edge browser. So if you want to swap these, you basically have to go like this, and you can swap them, but it's not like a button to just swap them, you know, real quick, unfortunately, like you can with the Surface Duo. But you can stack these if you want. And say I want to open up my podcast app, I can open that and then switch this one back here. So you can do something like that. If you want an app to go across both displays, this works with any of them, and some of them will give you different results. But you can see I'm going to do this with the podcasting app, so I can see it across both displays. A little bit weird, just like it is with the Velvet, because you have the opening of the hinge right going across. But it's a little less pronounced here. You can see the hinges, I mean the middle part's a lot thicker on the Velvet versus it is on the Surface Duo. And just to show you a non-Google app, just in case you're concerned with that, about it going across both displays, let's open up Audible. And when I can do that to Audible, is put it in the middle there, and it'll open across both displays, just to show you a non-Google app. Now, turning off like one of these displays, the only way you can do it is to close this. And when you close it, you can see this back one is off. And if I want to awaken it, you just basically double tap it. So there you guys go. That's a little kind of a brief overview of running multiple apps on both of these screens. I guess, you know, running both apps on both screens, I prefer it on the way the Duo does it, but I can understand maybe somebody that has trouble with gestures and, you know, like moving stuff when you have something open, moving it over here, or not even thinking to do that. It might be easier with an actual button to do something like that. I do like that you can swap screens real easily on the Velvet. Orientation wise, in terms of having dual apps open at the same time, I prefer it better on the Surface Duo. It just seems a little bit, I like the, you know, the big fat display versus the long and skinny, especially when you go this way. It just feels a little bit more comfortable and natural doing something like that. So both are completely different phones in ways, and obviously you can use them both if you wanted to, you know, watch videos this way. You could watch videos that way, and you could do that on this as well. So you don't even have to get a case or something that, you know, has a pop socket in it or something. So they have cool orientations. I like the future of where phones are going with dual displays and folding displays. Very cool stuff. Let me know which phone you would choose if you had the opportunity. If, say, you know, that you could get this for a reasonable price. This is obviously very expensive, but if, you know, all things were equal, which phone would you get? The Surface Duo or the Velvet? Thanks for watching. See you down the road. Peace.